hapon po sa inyong lahat. Busy pa rin ba ang inyong mga feeds niyan ngayong Thursday? I'm sure dahil sa dami ng nangyayari, baka may makalimutan kayo. Kaya ang sagot dyan, i-screenshot mo para pwedeng balikan. Ako po si Denise.
Nako, Denise, ikaw talaga. To err is human, to forgive divine. Ang nagsabi niyan, parang sumobra sa wine. Welcome sa programang hindi matatawaran ng mga balita at mga kwentong nakaka-excite. Kumakatok sa inyong puso ang Afternoon Delight.
Okay, Thursday, December 5, ang ating chosen delight of the day ay ang local take ng traditional. Ating delight of the day ay tea and biscuit. So local take ito ng traditional version. So ang meron tayo ngayon ay biskwit na tinatawag, all-time favorite daw ng mga Pinoy.
Yung mga reporter, pag may traffic o mga dagsaan sa airport, mahaba yung mga pila. Ito yung sinasabi nila na magbaon lagi ng marami.
Oo, magbaon ng napakaraming pasensya. At yan din, kaya ganyan din kadami yung handa natin for today. So syempre, bakit yan na paired with tea? Bakit tsaa? Syempre, ang daming tsaa ngayon, daming usap-usapan from showbiz to politics.
Ano nga ba naging tea? Yung
know,
to refer to
actually.
chismis?
I don't know. Yung spill the tea, hindi ko rin alam.
Alam ko yung teabagging, iba ibig sabihin nun. Ba't ka natawa? Hindi ko nga alam bakit naging teabagging ang tawag doon or bakit spill the tea, kumbaga.
Okay.
Pero ito sigurado, yung tea and biscuits, kasi iba yung biscuits dito sa Pilipinas.
Hirapan ako mag-recover.
Pag sinabi mong biscuits sa Amerika, ay ibang klase biscuits sila. Makakapal yun.
Parang muffin sa kanila.
Oo. So yun ang biscuits sila. Pero para ipari sa tea, medyo dito talaga makikita yung kaibahan ng mga kultura. May mga nagigets yun, may mga hindi nagigets yun. At yung halimbawa, clotted cream pa yung nilalagay nila doon minsan sa kanilang mga muffins at sa ibang mga tinapay. At yung tea naman, yung nilalagay ng gata sa mga Britanya, sa mga Briton, at asukal. Sa atin kasi kadalasan ay yung tea natin diretso lang. Pero ngayon, yung milk tea culture ay napapasok na sa atin. Pero kadalasan yung milk tea na alam natin yung malamig.
Yung malamig na may sago at kung ano-anong tawag nilang sinkers.
May mga
yung
cake, may mga noodles. Ewan ko kung ano nilalagay na ron. Hindi ko naman tindihan
Pero gusto ko yun, yung hot na milk tea. Pero ang gusto ko kasi sa milk tea, yung lasang-lasa mo yung tsaa.
Lasang-lasa mo tsaa. Yes.
Sasabihin ko na naman yung
hindi masyadong matamis. Tama naman yan. Everything should be balanced. Kumbaga, no single flavor or flavor element should be overwhelming. Yan ang masarap na kahit ano na nilalagay mo sa iyong bibig. So, ikaw, sa palagay mo, kailan ka kailangan magbaon ng maraming pasensya?
Madaming pasensya? Depende
Ako minsan pag nanonood ng TV.
Nanonood ng TV? Bakit?
Minsan yung mga makikita mo, ganyan. Or if you have to go through social media.
Ako usually airport.
Isa rin yan.
Pero sige, pag-usapan na lang natin yung binanggit mo. Ang ating mga stories on social media. Unang-una dyan ay ang announcement from MMDA as reported by the Philippine Star. Banned na ang mall-wide sales in the NCR during the holiday season, and that's to ease traffic congestion.
Talaga ha? Alam mo sa totoo lang, Denise, bihira magkaroon ng mga mall-wide sales sa mga lalo-lalo na sa buwan na ito. Oo. Magkakaroon ng sales sigurado yan mga Enero na pagkatapos ng holiday rash.
Rash. yung kati mong mamili. Pwede rin naman.
Tsaka magkakasale yan, babagsak presyo. Pero sa ganitong panahon, walang ungas na nasa tamang katinuan ang magsisale sa mga ganitong panahon.
Kasi lahat in the mood to, give gifts, to reward themselves, di ba? Meron sila yung mga Christmas joy, ganyan. So, gastos lang.
Pero ayaw sa gusto ninyo, matraffic pa rin. Kahit walang sale sa mga mall.
Actually, yung tanong nga nila is itong ginagawa na ng pagbabago ng schedule na to o yung sinasabi nila na pagbaban nung
mall-wide sales?
Nung mall-wide sales, sabi nila, could affect economic activity. Yan yung tanong, makaka-apekto ba talaga? Tsaka sabi
kasi kukonti ang mga tax na makukuha, ganyan.
Siguro, pero ito na nga, sabi nila, tuwing holidays lang naman daw kasi nakaka-take advantage yung mga consumers ng mas murang goods. Tama ba?
Walang murang goods sa Disyembre. Kung mapapansin mo, pagdating ng mga Oktubre, or September,
Oo.
bumababa, maraming sales lagi. Kasi ini-eliminate na ng mga tindahan yung mga stocks nila to prepare for December.
Oo.
Yun. Kaya walang murang take advantage of this great sale pag December na mangyayari.
Sale sa isip lang po nila yung sale.
Opo. Nagkakaroon ng sale pag mga sabihin swimwear. Yan siguro.
Swimwear.
Mababa yung presyo niyan. Pero siguradong kung mag-abang kayo ng Enero, mga second week, sale yan sigurado.
Oo nga, lagi yon.
Lagi yan kasi ang pine-prepare naman nila ay yung February stocks. So ganun lagi yan. So mag-abang-abang kayo.
Kasi ako meron akong pinupuntahan ng mga stores na ang sale nila yan, January tapos laging July, mga ganun na. Opo.
Ito pa. Ang dapat iban siguro ng MMDA, Christmas parties.
Christmas parties?
Yan talaga ang nakaka-traffic.
Bakit?
Halimbawa, bibihira na ngayon nagki-Christmas party sa kanilang mga opisina lamang. So lahat yan ay doon sa kung saang mga kainan. Talagang lahat magpupuntahan dyan. O, tapos kasama pa dyan, yung bibili sila ng mga regalo. So dagdag dyan sa traffic. So dapat sundin natin yung sinasabi ng Pangulo natin na i-temper na lang siguro yung mga pagdiriwang. At i-donate na lamang sa mga nangangailangan.
Pwede naman kung meron ka i-donate.
Parang ako, nangangailangan ako ngayon.
Ako rin, pwede kumatanggap po ako ng regalo.
Yes! Ano bang regalo? Manawagan tayo sa mga afternoon delighters natin.
O syempre, i-share nyo po ang aming mga live stream at ipagkalat sa inyong mga family and friends ang good vibes ng show na ito.
Yes. Okay. Alam mo, isang technique din kung ayaw mo sumabay doon sa holiday rush, yung mga malls na nasa outskirts ng Metro Manila, like may mall sa Pampanga, napuntahan ko isang Disyembre, weekend, halos walang tao.
Talaga?
Parang wow, kompleto din na halos yung mga gusto mong bilhin, nandun din siya.
Alam mo, honestly, hindi ako mahilig sa mall pag madaming tao. So makikita mo ako sa mall, usually sobrang aga. Yung bagong bukas.
Paano kung may trabaho mo ay nasa umaga din?
Adi hindi ako magmamall.
Huwag na mag-mall. If Denise cannot go to the mountain will go to Denise. Parang ganun
Hindi,
ba yun?
parang ako kasi minsan, there are times na gusto ko lang maglakad-lakad. Not necessarily gusto kong
Bumili.
na may kailangan akong bilhin. So pag yung mga times na may kailangan lang, na gusto ko lang maglakad, I choose the morning na lang.
Ayan, yun ang makabagong parke natin, mga mall.
Oo.
Medyo malungkot kapag gano'n.
Libreng aircon eh.
Libreng aircon, etc. etc. Pero yung simpleng pag-inom mo ng tubig, dati libre sa food court.
Oo.
Ngayon, hindi na.
Ngayon, hindi
Kailangan
na.
mong bumili.
Nako.
Lungkot, no?
Ay, nako.
Oo. Hindi magtatagal. Yung paghinga mo rin,
Wag
ibenta
naman.
na rin yan. O
Wag
may
naman
mga oxygen
sana.
na mas puro kumpara doon sa iba at kailangan mo magbayad. Anyway,
Eto, hindi natin kailangan magbayad dito dahil lahat tayo nagulantang sa libreng tsaa. Just a few days ago, this is of course the issue that is all over social media, ang di umanong cheating among actors Anthony Jennings, MARIS Racal, and Anthony's non-showbiz ex, Jam Villanueva. Lots of people weighing in on this controversy. For many, this is not just personal or showbiz, but an issue we can all learn from. So,
magtsaka kaya muna.
ako. Nasosobrahan ako
Legal
sa basa.
perspective daw ang una.
Oo. Ito sabi ni Attorney Jesus Falsis. He said in a lengthy FB post, even cheaters have human rights.
Oo. Parang, di ba? Parang sa mga may atraso sa batas. Okay, bago sila husgahan or hatulan, may prosesong pinagdadaanan.
Yung mga
at may karapatan din sila.
Yung mga gumagawa nga ng mas matinding mga krimen, ano?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, baka daw, sabi niya, baka daw may violation on right to privacy by Anthony's ex, posting screenshots of private conversations and exchanges without permission.
Oo, delikado rin yan.
Actually, ang sabi nila, kung ang nilabas daw niya ng mga screenshots ay galing sa kanyang sariling telepono, lulusot. Mukhang lulusot. Pero ang lumabas kasi, it's a photo of parang a phone, parang ganun.
Yes.
Hindi lang puro screenshots talaga.
Parang ano yan, naging issue din yan panahon ni President Duterte, no? Naalala mo? Yung usapin ng si Vitaliano Aguirre noon, Justice Secretary, nakunan yung cellphone niya kasi lalaki ng phone kasi matatanda, di ba? Pag nagte-text, lalaki ng ganyan kalaki. Parang si Manny Mogato, ganyan kalaki yung mga phone. Parang 0.48 yata yung
Ang dami pa,
phone
Sir
ko.
Manny.
So nakunan kasi, tas inuutusan na may, sabihin natin na hindi masyadong pleasant yata ng operasyon yung pinutos.
Okay.
Kaya nakunan, kaya nagkaroon ng resibo. Yun, medyo delikado rin ba yon? Baka ganon. Pero hindi yon iba, some say, dito sa kaso nila Jennings at Racal, Miss Racal.
At ang pagpo-post nga online, nasabi na may angulo rin daw yan ng cyber libel. So ang payo ngayon ni attorney sa mga babaeng kinakaliwa, lalo na daw dun sa mga legal na asawa, take screenshots as proof of cheating but don't post on social media platforms or wag ipakalat.
What's the fun in that?
What's the fun in that?
Oh.
Then file a VAUSI. Alam ko VAUSI ito, di ba?
Oo.
Violence Against Women and Children. Tama, yan. Ang kaso, psychological violence caused by infidelity. May isa pang punto si Attorney Falsis, misogyny. Bakit daw sa lahat ng gulong ito, mas ang bashing ay kay Maris Racal?
Di ba? Parang yung isang side lang ang may fault lagi. O ito ba yung innate na kumbaga ay misogyny ng isang bahagi ng kaisipang Pinoy? Na macho pa rin.
Na rin masabi, no? Kasi grabe naman talaga yung screenshots na mga lumabas. At syempre, nakita natin kung paano sila mag-usap.
Pero yung cancel ba dito sa pagkakataong ito, tingin mo, well, hindi naman sila kasi yung unang-unang couple, quote-unquote, na nagkaroon ng ganitong sitwasyon.
Oo.
Pero dahil sa kainitan na panahon ng social media, na nagiging weapon at doon na talaga yung tunggalian, medyo ibang sitwasyon ito, sabihin natin, ano? Medyo,
Pero alam mo, at the end of the day, makakalimutan din to ng mga tao.
correct.
Makakalimutan
Pero yung
din
makakancel dito,
Oo.
ang sinasabi nila, baka mas maapektuhan si girl. Ano ba yun?
Hindi natin alam. Alam naman natin na meron silang proyekto, di ba? Together, kaya nga sinasabi nila yung method acting daw.
Oo, pero alam mo naman na parang form of gaslighting din yun, di ba?
Pero yun nga ang sinabi, di ba?
Parang nahuli mo, alam ba, yung boyfriend mo na may hinahalikan ng ibang babae. Practice lang yun.
Practice lang yun.
Oo, pero... parang pelikula lang nila Joey Marquez. Hinahalikan ko siya para sa iyo.
Para sa'yo.
Okay.
Para pagdating sa'yo, perfect na.
Oo, yung mga ganong pelikula ni Joey Marquez, kunyari, iligaw mo ako, tapos siya yung hahalik doon sa nililigawan. Anyway, may isa pang take away. Oo. Ano ba ito, Denise?
When personal becomes political, on StoryCon yesterday, na-discuss ni Bok Edlingao, Master Political Pundit Ronald Llamas, and Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief, ang MARIS Anthony Jam Triangle. So may comment si Kitty Wood, viewer ng StoryCon, buti pa si X, madaming resibo, si VP wala.
May resibo, peke nga lang.
Oo, may mga pangalang
Hindi mahanap yung pumirma.
Yun naman pala. Usapang cheater, LOL, di naman nalalayo sa politics, puro rin gaslighting. Pangatlong takeaway, ang reaksyon ng mga hindi updated mula kay Budget Undersecretary Goddess Hope Libiran. Ang tanong niya kahapon, trending daw si Maris ngayon. Bakit? And then she posted a photo of Maris Umali of GMA.
Baka naman sinasadya niya yun.
Oo, baka naman. In another post, Libiran said, #ibang Maris pala yun. Sorry. Echeche.
Acheche.
Oo.
Maraming mga... Ay, nako. Ito kaya makaka-apekto. May pelikula pa naman sila.
Yun na nga. May project sila together. Tignan natin. Baka lalong mas ma-curious ang mga tao kung paano nabuo ang...
When life throws you lemons,
may lemonade.
ilagay
Sa tsaa.
na wala itong tsaa natin ngayon.
Mas pasarapin ang tsaa.
Oo, pero yung cancel culture, di ba? Normally, ngayon, dapat, di ba, wala nang pinipiling mga gender kung anong apek. Pero, sa Pilipinas pa rin talaga, iba pa rin talaga. Unless may panggigigil kasi doon sa mga personalidad involved.
Baka may panggigigil dahil alam naman natin na nagsalita itong si Maris in the past where she said na pinangalanan niya, sabi niya, di ba, Anthony is out of the picture, tapos it's just her daw, it's me, sabi niya gano'n.
It's not you, it's me.
Parang gano'n, something along those lines. Pero
Yun
hindi pa
pala.
dyan. Tapos ang ating usapan ng ex-boyfriend naman ni Maris Racal na si Rico Blanco, nako, trending din.
Bakit?
Entertainment producer Von Belinario tells us why.
Binagyo ang comment section ng dating lead vocalist ng River Maya na si Rico Blanco matapos makaladkad sa cheating allegation ang ex niyang si Maris at Anthony Jennings. Dahil dito, nakalimit na ang kanyang IG comment sa gitna ng kanyang pananahimik. Pero ang kanyang former kabanda na si Mark Escueta, lantara ng pagsuporta kay Rico Blanco with hashtag Team Rico. After more than 4 decades, magbabalik sa big screen ng award-winning na pelikulang Himala. Dadalhin ng isang himala ang classic na kwento ni Elsa na bibigyang kulay ng musika. Ang bidang si Elsa, gagampanan ni Aisel Santos. Excited na raw siyang makita ang movie sa sinihan na unang binigyang buhay sa teatro noong 2003 at noong 2018.
Si Elsa ngayon, mas maraming pinagdaanan, mas maraming baon, maraming layers ang nasa isip niya at nasa puso niya. At I'm sure maraming makaka-relate.
Ang nasa likod ng movie, si Direk Pepe Jokno na last year's best director sa MMFF para sa Gumburza.
Very faithful po kami dun sa essence ng text. We took it as a challenge na parang paano ba natin i-reimagine nga tong world na ginawa ni Sir Ricky. So technically, yung pinanood ko po yung performances ni Aisel, ang lakas po kasi ng vocal power ni Aisel at ng buong cast. So for that, kailangan sabi namin dapat maramdaman at makita at marinig ng mga tao yung totoong boses nila. So lahat po ng musical numbers po ay live.
Masaya naman ang OG scriptwriter at national artist na si Ricky Lee sa muling pagsasabuhay sa pelikula. Dagdag pa niya, may participation na nag-iisang superstar niya si Nora Honor sa upcoming movie.
Aminin na natin, Guy, mula noon hanggang ngayon, bahagi ka ng Himala, the film, hindi na yan mababago at hindi matatanggal. Kung yung pelikula patuloy na nabubuhay up to now, maski na iba-ibang reincarnation, bahagi ka nun, dala-dala ka na nun eh. Dala-dala tayong tatlo ni na Isma eh. So, might as well take part.
Ang isang himala ay bahagi ng 50th Metro Manila Film Festival.
Hindi mo nakita yung koneksyon ng dalawang report ni Von Belenario.
Ano?
Diba? Yung isa tungkol doon sa frontman ng bandang dati, no?
Oo. River Maya.
Oo. Yung isa ay tungkol sa musical version ng
Himala.
ang River Maya ay may kantang pinamagatang
Himala.
na ang tono ay
Ano man tono naman?
Himala, nasa kasalanan ba? Humingi ako sa langit ng...
Isang himala.
Abay, Himala, nanonood kayo ngayon. Kaya binabati natin
Yun
lahat
lang pala
ng viewers ng Afternoon Delight via live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, mga kapatid. Of course, si Paolo Togano. Nag-aabang ako ng live para makapag-comment. Laging replay na papanood ko. Hello, Tito Lourd. Opo. At si Hello, Tita Denise. Love the outfit.
Thank
Sabi ni Paolo
you.
Togano. Bea Dalisay, we love you too. Okay, Rodel Alcantara, isa sa medyo dinirarigsa ng mall, yung nasa Magnolia, great na mag-date kung gusto ninyong tahimik.
Sabi ni Nico Cabales, hi Auntie and Uncle Lourd. Lakas baka ano.
Jem Lloyd Bolanggaita.
Teka lang, sabi niya, AD, bawal tumawa. Bakit naman? Good vibes tayo dito. Ihalak-hak mo yan.
Lloyd Chongko, may tanong siya.
Yes.
Tito Lourd, anong ginagawa mo after mag-smoke? Smoke, then...
Ano? Ano?
Hindi ko na-gets eh.
Hindi ko rin na-gets
In
eh.
reference ba to doon sa mga screenshot?
Oo, nasa screenshot yan.
Hindi ako umabot doon sa screenshot
Ay,
na
hindi
yun.
ka umabot doon.
Tinigil ko na yun nung nakita ko yun. Tungkol sa ano pala to? Alex Fuentes ng Bacolod, hello po.
Saan ka umabot? That's so hot.
Umiha.
Ganyan.
Yung may sweater.
Ay, yung sweater.
Oo.
Actually, hindi ko na alam kung anong which is which ang nauna. Napakarami.
Yung sweater ba ay... Anong ginawa?
Naiwan daw. Nang
Naiwan
sadya.
lang. Okay.
Nang sadya.
Hindi ginamit sa kung ano man.
Ay, hindi natin alam. Basta parang nung tinanong ata na naiwan, ang para dinouble check kung
Kumbaga,
sinadya at oo.
Pag may investigasyon for DNA, yung sweater na yon.
Nandoon. Ay, hindi natin alam kung merong makukuha dun sa sweater na yon. Buhok siguro. Ni girl, pwede.
Hindi, dapat yung follicles eh. Yung roots talaga. Hindi
So,
pwede
iba dapat.
Hindi pwede yung parang ano lang, ginunting lang. Alright, sino pa ba? Aha. Rodel Alcantara, of course. Jem Lloyd Bolanggaita. Lloyd Chongko, hey, epic! At kay Mike Policarpio, of course, Ron and Ella Francisco pa rin. Eleanor Barami and Renato and Julian. Hello po sa inyo. Alright.
Okay.
So, time out muna. Marami pa kaming kwento sa inyo. Magbabalik po ang Afternoon Delight. Okay, nagbabalik po ang Afternoon Delight dito po sa One News. Kamusta? Ako po si Lourd de Veyra.
At ako naman po si Denise Tan. Thank you for staying with us.
Onto the news. Iglesia ni Cristo members are preparing to hold rallies in support of President Marcos' stand against the impeachment of Vice President Sara Duterte. Net25 host Jen Subardiaga said that the country faces more pressing issues that government must prioritize. He also highlighted the INC's commitment to peace and its opposition to any form of unrest. Meanwhile, former Senate President Migs Zubiri said that many of his colleagues remain cold to impeachment at this time.
We cannot take political sides because if there is a valid and verified impeachment complaint that will go to the Senate, we as jurors have to be very impartial about it. So I'm not taking any sides here. Ayaw ko lang sana magkagulo at this point.
Meantime, VP Sara says Christmas is a time for forgiveness, but was quick to add that it's not for her. During a Thanksgiving party, Duterte explains that people handle resentment differently, with some taking longer to forgive. The president had earlier expressed openness to reconcile with the VP, but for Duterte, her broken alliance with PBBM has reached a quote, point of no return.
Ang Pasko po ay panahon ng pagpapatawad, pagmamahalan, at pagbibigay. Forgiving, giving, and loving. Lagi ko pong sinasabi na depende po yan sa tao. Pero dahil ako ay Vice President, kailangan ko sabihin sa inyo na yan po ang mensahe at diwa ng Pasko. Pero po ako, hindi po talaga ako magpapatawad. Pero kailangan ko sabihin sa inyo na ang Pasko ay panahon ng pagpapatawad. Nasa sa inyo na yan. Kung magpapatawad kayo, dahil iba-iba naman ang tao eh. Diba? Meron sa atin mabilis magpatawad, meron sa atin matagal, at meron sa atin dinadala na talaga sa hukay ang galit.
Alright, meantime, in Malacanang, President Marcos met with some House leaders yesterday. And here's a story from Mobile Journal, Julie Baiza.
Nakipagkita si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos sa ilang miyembro ng House of Representatives sa gitna ng panibagong impeachment complaint na inihain laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ayon sa Presidential Communications Office, nagkaroon ng fellowship ang Office of the President sa mga miyembro ng Kamara. Hindi na nagbigay ng detalye ang palasyo pero kabilang daw sa dumalo dito ang pinsan ng Pangulo na si House Speaker Martin Romualdez at si Majority Leader Manuel Jose Dalipe. Kasunod nito, naglabas naman ang Kamara ng Manifesto of Support para sa Pangulo. Inihayag nila ang commitment sa pagtatanggol sa Pangulo bilang kumakatawan sa soberanya ng bansa. Pangangalagaan din daw si PBBM laban sa anumang banta at titiyaking natutupad ang tungkulin nito. Ngayong umaga, nasa Panabo City, Davao del Norte si PBBM para sa pamamahagi ng land titles at certificates of condonation with release of mortgage sa mga agrarian reform beneficiaries.
Sa madaling salita, lahat ng inyong utang burado na, limpyo na tanan. Bukod pa rito, mamamahagi rin tayo ng mahigit 140 Certificate of Land Ownership o CLOA sa Davao City. Patuloy po ang pagsisikap ng gobyerno na mabigyan kayo ng mga proyekto na makakatulong sa pagpapalago ng inyong mga sakahan at magpapatatag sa sektor ng agrikultura.
Biling niya gamitin na maayos ang tulong ng gobyerno.
Sa ating mga minamahal na benepisyaryo, sana po ang aming handog ay makapagbigay sa inyo ng bagong simula. Naway gamitin ninyo ang pagkakataong ito upang palaguin ang inyong mga sakahan at itaguyod ang kinabukasan ng inyong mga pamilya at ng ating bansa.
Inilatag din ng Pangulo ang iba pang proyekto ng gobyerno sa lugar, kabilang dyan ang mga gumugulong na infrastructure projects.
Tiyak na makakatulong ito sa pagpapabuti ng sitwasyon ng trapiko at pagpapabilis ng galaw ng inyong transportasyon at pagpapaunlad ng negosyo, turismo, agrikultura. Mas bibilis ang biyahe ng mga produkto, mas magiging madali na ating maipaparating ang mga tourist spot tulad ng mga beach, mga ilog at mga parks dito.
Mobile journalist Julie Baiza, hatid ang mukha ng balita.
We now give you a rundown of more stories on One News. Former Bamban-Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo pleads not guilty to charges of material misrepresentation filed by COMELEC. Guo defended her citizenship, citing a live birth certificate issued in the Philippines. Her legal counsel also said that it is premature to claim misrepresentation as Guo's immigration case and live birth cancellation are still pending. The country's inflation rate went up to 2.5% in November. That's from 2.3% in October. The PSA said food and non-alcoholic beverages were the main drivers of last month's inflation uptrend. Rice at 40 pesos per kilo will be available at select train stations and markets in Metro Manila starting today. Kiosks will be set up at the MRT North Avenue Station, LRT 1 Monumento Station, and public markets in Makati, Quezon City, Malabon, Las Piñas, and Pasay. The Agriculture Department plans to expand availability of cheaper rice to other areas. And the Philippine Space Agency is investigating reports of a meteor shower across northern Mindanao and eastern Visayas early Wednesday. PhilSA said that the objects are unlikely to be meteors or related to rocket launches. It urged the public to report debris sightings to local authorities.
In other news, the Foreign Affairs Department is yet to file another protest over yesterday's incident of aggression in the West Philippine Sea. What happened in Bajo de Masinloc and Escoda Shoal from Mobile Journal, Kayla Makantan.
At 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday, December 4, China turned its water cannon on BRP Datu Pagbuaya, a vessel of the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. The beefer ship was at sail 16 nautical miles from Scarborough Shoal. In this drone video, a Chinese Coast Guard vessel can be seen chasing the much smaller boat of the Philippines.
10 meters!
While bombarding the beefer vessel with water, Beijing's ship closed in. In another video, the crew of beefer can be heard barking instructions at each other, a way to steer clear of China's attacks.
Banti, tirahan yung radar. Banti mo pa, tirahan yung radar.
But the Filipino ship carried on with its routine maritime patrol of Scarborough. But moments later, the CCG became more aggressive.
Collision! Collision!
The Chinese deliberately sideswiped BRP Datu Pagbuaya. From the air, the aggression at sea was more evident. The Chinese Coast Guard ship rammed the starboard side or right portion of the beefer vessel. At one point, the Philippine ship looked like it was being dragged from the force of the attack. The impact was so powerful, the friction of steel on steel can be heard. The CCG boat also sustained deep scratches when it was all over. But this is not the end of the story. In another incident on the same day, the Chinese also rammed a beefer vessel off Escoda Shoal. The railings of BRP Datu Romapenet was flattened by the collision. According to the National Maritime Council, President Bongbong Marcos is disturbed over Beijing's recent illegal actions in the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone.
The president actually already knows the incident, no? And he expressed his concern dahil bakit may ganito na naman nangyari, no? Merong ramming.
For the Philippine Coast Guard, China's latest aggression is an overkill and the first time that a Chinese Navy vessel chased a Philippine boat. The PCG is still assessing the damage the ramming incident had on beefer vessels. Together with the NMC, it will also coordinate with the Department of Foreign Affairs for possible compensation from China. No Filipino personnel was hurt from the encounters at sea, but Manila and Beijing have started trading accusations. The China Coast Guard claimed it was Filipino ships that dangerously approached its vessels. It also warned Manila to immediately halt its infringements, provocations, and inflammatory actions. If the Philippines does not stand down, the CCG said the country will be held accountable for all consequences arising from such behavior. Mobile journalist Kayla Makantan, we are One News.
You're still watching Afternoon Delight on One News. Time for another breather. We'll be right back.
South Korea's opposition parties have this afternoon submitted a motion to impeach President Yoon Suk-yeol. Now, he is facing pressure to leave office hours after he declared martial law late last night, a move that stunned and bewildered the vast majority of South Koreans, and it is viewed here as an arcane throwback to a more turbulent period in the country's history before South Korea became a fully functioning democracy in the late 1980s. Many of the protesters at this demonstration in Seoul weren't even born the last time that martial law was enacted. Now, President Yoon was forced to rescind the declaration very early this morning, 6 hours after that declaration was actually announced, after the lawmakers defied armed forces who had surrounded the National Assembly building here. Some of those lawmakers scaled walls to gain entry. Another pushed away the barrel of a rifle which had been pointed at her chest by a soldier. In an extraordinary late-night sitting, 190 Assembly members who managed to gain entry to the building voted down the declaration unanimously. Now, the presidential impeachment vote could come as early as Friday and will require 200 of the 300 lawmakers to pass. South Korea is no stranger to mass street protests and swift presidential impeachments. As one analyst told the AP, Yoon's short-lived martial law declaration may have killed his chances of fully completing his presidential term.
December 5th, 1933. Prohibition ends in the United States after more than a dozen years as Utah ratifies the 21st Amendment to the Constitution. That measure repeals the 18th Amendment, which had banned the manufacture, sale, or transportation of alcoholic beverages. 1791. One of the world's great classical composers, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, dies in Vienna, Austria. He was just 35 years old. 1901. Walt Disney, creator of Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and an entertainment empire including major theme parks, is born in Chicago. And 1932. Little Richard, one of the early stars and shapers of rock and roll, is born Richard Wayne Penniman in Macon, Georgia. Today in history, December 5th, Carlotta Bradley, The Associated Press.
And we're back. As you can hear, you're watching Afternoon Delight. I'm Denise Tan.
And I'm Lourd de Veyra.
All right, the much-anticipated inaugural championship week of the Sharks Billiards Association will kick off on December 16 in Quezon City. And to talk about that, we have SBA founder Hadley Mariano and Managing Director George Ho. Gentlemen, welcome to Afternoon Delight.
Hello.
Hi, Hadley.
Thank you for having us. Hello.
Okay, so we're about less than 2 weeks away from the championship game.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it. How many teams are going to be there? And one thing that's people are always wondering about is it free?
Yeah, of course it's free. So the season started with 4 teams, but of course during our finals week it's only going to be 2 teams remaining. So we're very excited for the finals because of course the whole season was made for this. It's the culmination of our inaugural season, so we're very, very much excited for the finals.
And these are great times for pool fans. No?
Yeah, of course.
Just a couple of weeks back, there was a Reyes Cup. But I'm really surprised to learn that this is the only billiards association.
Yeah, it's
in
the
Philippines?
it's the only billiards league in the
yeah.
Philippines. It's the first one.
Wow. Considering there's it's a part of the culture, but there's no professional billiards league.
Actually, billiards is usually played in a tournament.
That's right.
Even in other countries. So we just thought that here in the Philippines, since we have a large number of players, good players, why not make a league out of these professional players? That way we could give them salaries, jobs, work. So yeah.
What's been the highlight so far during the first season?
For me personally, I think it's the fan interaction that we have, right? So if you watch pool normally, it's normally played in a very quiet environment. It's almost like a library, right? You can't make any noises, and even the players themselves don't actually show a lot of emotion, right? What's made me really happy about this first season is that you actually see a lot of emotion coming from the players. They're jumping for joy. They're high-fiving the audience members.
Not just the players, the fans.
Yeah, the fans too, and also the dedication and the emotional investment that our team owners have put into the league. We thought they would just pay the players and just watch, but they're actually really invested. They're actually providing a lot of other benefits other than just salary. Right? They're actually treating the players as their own family.
Is it going to progress to trash talking? Are you going to allow trash talking soon?
Okay, so here's
the emotion.
Here's the big thing, right? I think one thing that we wanted to do to kind of separate, or kind of like what differentiates us from other pool organizations or pool tournaments is that not only is it a team, there's a team aspect to it, but we want to allow sharking. But there's been a misinterpretation of what sharking means, right? Most people equate sharking to just trash talking. And that's not what we're doing, right? What we're doing is sharking does involve trash talking, but it's also fan interaction, player interaction, cheering. And it's something that's new to the sport, right? And so because of that, you get people who support it and you have detractors as well, right? Because people are opposed to change.
Yeah.
But if you look at what other leagues have done historically, like let's say over the past 20 years, right? If you look at other leagues, the NBA instituted the 3-second rule, right? In cricket, it went from a 5-day event to the T20s, which is now dominated by IPL in India. Baseball recently instituted a pitch clock, right? The NFL just this year started a new kickoff punt return rule. So these are all things.
The BBA has a 4-point line.
Exactly.
Yes, right. And there's a lot of examples of how leagues have changed. Live Golf, that's probably the biggest example of an organization that's disrupting an existing sport, of PGA. So the reception of that is, it's been, there have been pros and cons, right? But why do the leagues do these things? They do it because they want to make the league and the game more exciting, and they want to get more
And
fans.
it's the evolution of the sport.
It is an
yeah.
evolution, right? People in general are opposed to change, but after a while, we hope that they'll get used to this new concept, right? And it's a way for us to help grow the sport as well. A lot of people, the biggest complaint I hear about pool from casual fans is that they think it's boring.
Yeah.
Right?
So there's an acceptable level of rowdiness allowed in the games.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the first season, so I mean, obviously there's a learning curve, right? There have been growing pains, but we're going to be adjusting as the league goes on. Yeah.
I'm sure the fans are enjoying this, though. What has been the feedback on social media and from the fans themselves? Because I'm sure you get to talk to them as well, too.
It's actually divided. Again, we have what we call purists. Yeah. So
The purists are who insist on bow ties and
no,
like a
you order a beer from them.
No, they insist on maintaining the silence during the game.
But what about those who really cheer their hearts out? What do they say about it?
So I don't read Tagalog, but I go through the comments, and there's one. I'll give you a perfect example. We had a guy, Drashir. He plays on the Manila team. He was our games are races to 13, right? He was on 12 wins. Golden break. A golden break means the 9 ball goes in on the break, so he wins. He starts jumping up and down. The crowd goes wild, and the first comment we see, someone said, "I never knew pool could be so exciting."
Oh wow!
And that's exactly the reaction we want, because we want to bring the diehard fans are always going to watch, right? But what we want to do is we want to grow the sport, and
fans.
Yeah, and everyone knows the Philippines has the deepest pool of talent. Everyone outside the Philippines who plays pool knows that the Philippines has the best pool of talent for pool. So this is the natural home for a league.
Speaking of home, if you build it, they will come. So it's important that you have a home.
Yeah.
And it's in Quezon City. It's the Great White Arena.
Yeah.
Are there drinks being served during the game?
Of course.
That's the most important question.
But players cannot drink during the game.
Oh, man.
It's part of our
It's okay. You're not gonna play.
It's part of our manual. The players cannot be intoxicated, but of course, all the fans, you can drink as much as you want.
This is a silly question, but has the style of playing evolved since, let's say, the time of Bata Reyes?
Yeah.
A couple of decades ago.
Yeah.
How different is it?
It's pretty different. Number one, of course, the equipment.
Yes.
It improved.
It's an $800.
He hesitated a little
I
bit.
resist the urge.
The table improved. There are additional rules in the sport. But of course, we, as SBA, we wanted to put in our own rules as well. Like, there's this one rule that was added recently. Not recently, but it actually changed the sport a lot. They added what we call the jump cue, or the jump shot. This is where they're allowed to jump the cue ball over another ball in order to hit the object ball. So with SBA,
that's so easy to do, right?
Yeah, it's actually it takes away a bit of creativity in the sport, because as we all know, Efren Bata was known as the magician, is known as the magician because of fancy kick shots.
Yeah.
Cue ball would go around the table and hit the object ball, and the object ball would go in. So we would see less of these shots now because of the jump cue. So in SBA, we actually prohibited the jump cue in order for us to go back to the era of Efren Bata, where we could see these amazing magical shots.
It celebrates the artistry of Filipino pool, which is what a lot of Filipino players.
And it's what made the sport famous here in the Philippines, and it's what differentiated Efren Bata from other pool players during his time.
Now, aside from implementing certain rules and, of course, allowing fans to have more interaction with the players, what are the steps that you're taking? First off, before that, what do you make of the growth of the sport in the Philippines, and what are the other steps that you're making to see that growth get bigger and bigger?
And how much is an order of beer?
And how much is an order of beer?
For you, it's free. For you, it's free.
Okay, I'll tag along.
Do you want to answer
take the
that?
first half, I'll take the second.
Okay. So basically, here in Philippines, the sport has been here. It's the fans have been here. I think billiards is a sleeping giant, right? So it's just a matter of trying to wake it up. So once it's awake, I think it's really gonna grow very, very big. Because our players here in Philippines, the quality of players, they can beat world number ones. They can beat other countries. We can actually be the best again in the sport. So I think there's really big potential.
What's the typical billiard audience typical billiard enthusiast? Because once upon a time, billiards used to be associated with a fugitive sort of reputation.
Yeah.
You say billiards, you probably think
Hustlers.
of hustlers or students cutting classes to be at the pool area or the pool center.
And we don't advocate that. We don't advocate that.
But has it evolved? Does it still have that fugitive sort of associated reputation?
Sadly, because billiards is not offered in school, like as a varsity sport or in PE. So if I see, let's say, Efren Bata on TV, and I say, I want to be like Efren, well, how do I do it? So as a kid, I would hang out in pool halls. So pool halls are in bars.
Or break your teeth.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so the stigma is always there. It's still there. But if you look at it, if only the schools would, have a varsity sport, billiards, then kids wouldn't have to spend their time in bars. They would
take over the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But also, sorry, go ahead.
Go.
I wanted to answer the second part of your question, which was, what are we doing for the future, right? So, obviously, with SBA, we are trying to professionalize the sport. We're giving players an opportunity to see it as a legitimate career path. And the best way for us to do that is to actually grow the league, right? I'll give you an example. So when we had our player draft in August, there were over 100 players who participated, but we could only draft 20, right? Now, how many players in the Philippines are there? There's tons, right? There's way more than 100 who are at this level, or high-level players, or with players with a lot of potential. So there's a lot of room for us to grow the league in terms of number of teams, right? So this year we have 4 because we want to just prove to everyone that the concept actually works and there's a market for it. Eventually, hopefully by season 2 we'll have additional teams. Season 3, even more. And once you get to that point, it just becomes it's a snowball effect, right? And so then we can just grow the league to, I don't know, 16, 24, 32, who knows, right? But
all right. So all you potential Tom Cruises out there, and this is a cocktail movie reference, and all you Paul Newmans out there. So again, Denise.
Again, thank you for joining us. We wish you luck on the 16th. That's less than 2 weeks away. That was SBA founder Hadley Mariano and Managing Director George Ho. Thank you for joining us.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, now we move on to the PBA. The Northport Batangpier and Raider Shine Lasso Painters won their PBA Commissioner's Cup matches yesterday. The sports wrap from Mobile Journal, Denise Valdesancho.
Northport continues its winning streak in the PBA Season 49 Commissioner's Cup. Brought about by their defense, the Batangpier denied the hot shots of a win yesterday night at the Ninoy Aquino Stadium, 107-103. With 5 minutes and 16 seconds left in the final frame, Northport was already looking good with a 13-point lead, 94-81. But things almost turned around for Northport after Magnolia closed the gap to a single point, 96-95. In the remaining seconds, Aris Janicio was able to hit a triple to cut the lead to 2, 105-103. Pranyu finished the match after a successful 2 free throws. Import Kareem Jack delivered with an explosive 30 points alongside 11 rebounds, while player of the game Joshua Monzon put up 25 points and 5 steals. Rain or shine handed off PBA guest Team Eastern its first loss, and Dion Thompson starred in that show. Thompson delivered a double-double for his debut night to help the Elasto Painters bounce back after their Meralco Bolts match. Despite efforts by the Eastern to cut the deficit of what was a 23-point gap, efforts by Thompson and Santi Santillan kept Rain or shine in control, sealing the 99-81 victory. Dion Thompson posted 21 points and 15 rebounds in his debut. Over the semis of the Spikers Surf Invitational Conference 2024, from a tight first 2 sets, the Crisscross King Crunchers were able to break FEUD and Steel Ultra's system, finishing the match in straight sets, 25-21, 25-21, 25-11. Former Tamarao Jude Garcia led the scoring department with 18 points, alongside 13 kills, 4 service aces, and a block. Player of the game Isay Marasigan added 12 points, 11 attacks, and an ace. From a 5-setter matchup in the eliminations, the Signal HD Spikers made sure to end things as soon as possible in their semi-showdown against the Savoj Spin Doctors, and so they did in 3 sets, 25-21, 25-21, 25-20. Louis Ramirez orchestrated a stellar performance of 17 points, 17 attacks, and 6 excellent receptions. The HD Spikers are set to face the Ultras on Friday, 4 p.m. at the Phil Oil Eco Oil Arena, San Juan. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho. We are One News.
Alright, mag-aalas 3 na, sabi ng relo. Oras na, alam nyo na, para sa I Saw the Signs. Loaded edition ng I Saw the Signs. Bakit loaded ka mo?
Bakit nga ba?
Tita Denise, first photograph. Ang caption, delivery truck, 2,500 versus angkas, 80 pesos. Ito kasi panahon ng pandemya. Oo, nung pinagbabawal ang back ride. Oo, kasabi daw kasi nag-violate ang social distancing. Ito, hits 2 birds with 1 stone. Diba?
Ano ba yung naka-cover
Parang
sa kanya?
malaking rolyo yata ng papel ba ito? Oo.
Wala na siguro tatagos dyan, ano?
Hindi kasi napaka-ridiculous. Pero isipin, how else would you be carrying that thing?
Oo.
Sa shoulder mo? Pag ganun?
Wala, ganyan talaga, no? Okay. Okay, next photo. Ang caption natin, pinayagan na ang mag-asawa mag-angkas sa motor.
Oo, pero pag bumili ng gulong ng kasasakyan, ng kotse, saan mo ilalagay yan? Kay misis.
Kay misis.
Oo. Bakit misis? Si misis, subukan mo yung misis mo pa, sabitan mo ng ganyan, sa paking gano'n, di ba?
Okay.
Anyway,
Next
photograph.
ano to? Pwede na mag-angkas sa motor basta may dalang pintuan.
Oh, yung
Ang
barrier
hindi
na
naman ito. Totoo ba
tinatawag.
to?
Oo. Pero
Totoo to?
Yeah.
Paano?
Ang tanong
di ba may
dyan-
drag may drag sa hangin
O,
yan?
mapagalang mo lang ang takbo. Di ba? Yung wind resist, bahala na lang.
Nakakaloka.
So, discarded lang yan.
Uy, pero ingat-ingat po sa mga nagsusubok gumawa niyan, ano? It's not just about keeping yourself safe, pero syempre dapat din yung mga kasabay niyo sa kalye.
Correct. Sino tatamaan niya? Helicopter?
Okay.
Fourth photograph. Caption, dahil pinagbawal ang back ride ng pandemya, baka pwede ito. Hindi naman angkas.
Nakayakap! Mahal, di ba talaga tayo huliin sa checkpoint ito? Relax ka lang, mahal. Back ride lang ang pinagbabawal.
Oo. Hindi lang yakap yan. Ano ba tawag doon sa pagpaa?
May parang koala eh.
Oo.
May point naman. Anong tawag mo dyan? Back ride pa ba yan?
Front.
Okay. Ay! Okay, send your signs to us at afternoondelighton@gmail.com. That will have to do it for us this Thursday, December 5. Thank you for watching Afternoon Delight. Ako po si Denise Tan.
And you will join us again tomorrow, 2 p.m. Lourd, Veyra ang pangalan. Huwag niyo lang utangan. Have a delightful afternoon.